Hey babes, it's Kai, back with another true story that'll have you side-eyeing every friend who asks to borrow your Zelle. This one, it's personal, it's real, and it's one of the reasons I stopped mixing friendship with finances, especially in the nail game. So grab your iced latte, hit that subscribe button, and let me tell you about the day I learned. Not every bestie wants to see you win. It was Saturday, February 10th, 2024, and the sun in LA was doing her thing. 85 degrees, clear skies, palm trees looking like a postcard. I was up early at my apartment in Inglewood, getting my kit prepped for a full day of house calls. First client was at 9:30 a.m. in West Hollywood. Then I had back-to-backs in Koreatown and a final set in the Arts District. But squeezed right in the middle, a quick set at 1 p.m. for my homegirl, Layla, my so-called ride or die. We met in beauty school, came up together, shared booths at pop-ups, and even split the cost of a nail suite for a while. We were like nail sisters. Or at least, that's what I thought. So I pull up to Layla's new loft in downtown LA. Super cute, super modern, with those big warehouse windows and exposed brick. She had just secured a bag from some investor she wouldn't name, and was supposedly opening a beauty lounge. She hugged me like nothing had changed, made me a smoothie, and said she wanted something neutral and clean. Girl, I should have known right then. People ask for neutral when they're hiding something. I'm doing her nails and we're chatting about vendors, booking apps, income goals, typical nail tech talk. But then she hits me with, Kai, I got an opportunity for us. Like, real money. But I need your business info to lock it in by Monday. And babes, the dumbest thing I did that day? I didn't ask enough questions. She said she needed my LLC, EIN, and Zelle info to get us approved for this Women of Color funding program. She made it sound legit. Name-dropping Black business grant orgs, throwing out buzzwords like micro-lending and capital rotation. And because I trusted her, I sent it. Fast forward 4 days. I log into my business account to check my weekly deposits. And it's negative $94.12. Gone. Frozen. Flagged. Under federal review. I called the bank thinking it was fraud, only to find out I was listed on a business application for a crypto mining loan using someone else's name, and they used my LLC to back it. Guess whose name was also on the paperwork? Layla Denise Brooks. When I called her, the number was disconnected. Her IG was wiped, her nail page, gone. She ghosted me like I never existed. I spiraled, babes. Couldn't book for a week. Had to borrow from my cousin just to restock nail glue and tips. The worst part? The feds showed up at my door in March. I had to sit through hours of questioning. Prove I didn't co-sign on anything. But here's the twist, sis. Layla didn't disappear. She reinvented herself. A month later, one of my TikTok followers DMs me a video from a luxury nail pop-up in Miami. Guess who's in the background doing nails in a blonde wig and Chanel slides? Layla, going by the name Lay Brooks with a new IG handle. Nailed by Lay XO. So what did I do? I didn't retaliate. I documented everything. Turned over screenshots, bank statements, old voice notes. I gave it all to a lawyer friend who used to do small biz fraud cases. As of last month, the IRS opened an investigation. And Lay Brooks, she's now unavailable for comment. A week after the IRS letter showed up in my mailbox, I got a DM from a name I hadn't seen in years. Maya, one of the girls Layla and I went to nail school with. We were never close, but she messaged me with just one line. Kai, you're not the only one she did this to. My heart dropped. I FaceTimed her immediately, and that's when the real tea spilled. Apparently, after beauty school, Layla had been bouncing from city to city under different aliases. Nailed by L, Lux Digits, even House of Claws. Each time she'd cozy up to a local nail tech, get access to their business info under the guise of collaboration, and then disappear. Chicago, Houston, Atlanta, now Miami. What hurt the most wasn't even the money. It was the betrayal. This was someone I cried with over acetone burns and broken clippers. Someone who saw me build my clientele from $20 sets in my kitchen to 100+ luxury appointments in high-rise condos. And while I was building, she was scheming. I felt sick, like I'd been cast in my own episode of a true crime documentary, only instead of murder, it was identity theft with a fresh set and a gloss top coat. But here's where things get even wilder, sis. 2 weeks after my convo with Maya, I got an anonymous envelope. No return address, just my name written in perfect cursive. Inside, a flash drive. Now, normally I'd toss something like that, but curiosity got me. I opened it on my old laptop, and what was inside? Video footage of Layla. Clips of her bragging at a private party in Atlanta, talking about how easy it was to flip identities, use beauty girls for credit lines, and how nobody asks questions if your nails stay done and your page is poppin'. It felt like watching a stranger wearing my old friend's face. I sent it straight to the investigator on my case. And girl, just when I thought the saga was over, I get a notification that a new nail salon just opened in Long Beach under the name House of Vibe. The logo, a dripping pink crown. And who's tagged in the salon's grand opening reel? A stylist with her face blurred and the caption, "New beginnings, same hustle, fun blessed and booked." Now, babes, I'm not gonna lie. Something in me snapped. I wasn't scared anymore. I was mad, not just for me, but for all the nail techs she scammed, all the friendships she faked just to fund her next fake identity. So, I did what any emotionally wounded but well-manicured woman would do. I booked an appointment. Yup, I created a burner Instagram page under the name A Westside Glows, made up a fake portfolio of nail inspo pics, and messaged the Long Beach salon for a gel overlay with freestyle art. A girl named Jules responded and locked me in for Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. She didn't know my face, but I'd never forgotten hers. I just needed confirmation. Tuesday came. I pulled up in a hoodie and big shades, hair slicked into a low bun. The place was cute, modern, minimal. Definitely had Layla's vibe. When I walked in, a girl with long auburn braids and light eyes stepped out from the back and smiled at me. "You must be Naomi?" I nodded, pretending I wasn't already clocking every movement she made. Her voice was softer, her laugh a little more rehearsed, but it was her. Layla, Lay-L, whatever name she was using this time. She started soaking my nails, small-talking about where I was from, how I found the shop. I played along, heart thumping so loud I swore she could hear it. But here's the thing, I didn't come for revenge. I came for proof. Had a tiny mic clipped under my hoodie, recording everything she said. And when she casually joked, "Girl, you'd be surprised what people will give you when you say you're building a women's collective," I knew I had what I needed. I left the appointment with a clean nude set and a full 43-minute recording. Sent it. Straight to the investigator. And sis. 3 weeks later, I woke up to breaking news on Instagram. Beauty hustler arrested in LA County for multi-state financial fraud scheme. Mugshot, full name, charges listed, and right there in the comments, nail techs from all over the country dropping stories just like mine. We weren't crazy, we weren't careless, we were targeted. A week after the arrest made headlines, I got a call from a blocked number. Normally, I don't answer unknowns, but something told me to pick up. On the other end, a calm, clipped voice said, "Is this Kayana? I'm with the district attorney's office. We're moving forward with the case against Layla Brooks, formerly Layla Denise Brooks, and your testimony will be key." My stomach flipped. I knew this day could come, but hearing it out loud made it real. They wanted me to appear as a witness, walk through what happened, how she used my business, how she moved through the industry like a silent predator wearing a smile and designer slides. I agreed, because no way was I letting her do this to someone else ever again. Court was set for mid-May, and let me tell you, standing in that courtroom felt like walking into a different world. Layla sat there with her slicked-back ponytail and courtroom beige outfit, looking as if none of this touched her, not an ounce of remorse. But when the prosecutor played the recording of her casually joking about building a women's collective, her whole vibe changed. She stopped blinking. Her attorney leaned in, whispering fast, and that's when I knew. She didn't expect me to fight back. The trial lasted 4 days. In the end, she was convicted of wire fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy. Sentenced to 6 years in federal prison with restitution ordered to all documented victims. I'll be real. It wasn't some glittery moment of revenge. It felt quiet, heavy, like closure, but also like grieving the version of me that trusted so blindly. I walked out of that courtroom, sunlight hitting my fresh French tip set, and I felt lighter, stronger, like I'd just clipped off the last bit of dead weight. And now, I keep my circle tight, my business tighter, and my trust on a timer. Because babes, some friendships are like nail glue. They hold you together. But when they get toxic, They'll rip everything you've built clean off. A few months passed, and life finally started to feel normal again. I was back to booking clients, collaborating with trusted brands, and even got featured in a local LA Beauty and Bosses podcast where I shared my story. No tea left unsipped. People flooded my DMs, not just with support, but with their own stories. Girls who got scammed by so-called friends, lost businesses, lost themselves. It made me realize what happened to me wasn't just my story. It was happening in silence, all around us. So I launched a new segment on my channel called Polished and Protected, where we talk about the real behind the scenes of being a beauty entrepreneur. But then, right when everything seemed good again, I got a letter. It wasn't from the IRS. It wasn't from the court. It was from Lila. Handwritten. 4 pages, neatly folded, sent from the Women's Federal Facility in Dublin, California. The envelope had no return name, but the second I opened it, I recognized the handwriting, loopy L's and all. She thanked me for holding her accountable. She claimed prison had given her clarity, that she was rebuilding her spirit, and that she wanted to one day give back to the community she took from. But what sent a chill up my spine was the last line of the letter. Maybe one day we'll laugh about this over coffee, like old times. People always find their way back to the ones who knew them best. Babes. I burned that letter, because healing doesn't mean inviting the devil back in for tea. A few weeks after I burned the letter, I tried to forget about it. I kept grinding, nail classes, client wait lists, brand deals finally knocking at my door. I even launched a mini ebook about protecting your beauty business from fraud, and it went viral on TikTok. Life was good. But even in the middle of the glow-up, I couldn't shake that letter. That one creepy sentence kept echoing in my mind. People always find their way back to the ones who knew them best. Then came the event. It was August 18th, 2024, a Saturday. I was invited to speak at a luxury beauty summit in Beverly Hills, my first time being on a panel with real heavy hitters in the beauty world. The energy was top tier, the venue was stunning, and the room was packed with makeup artists, lash techs, and nail babes from all over the country. Right before my panel, I stopped by the VIP lounge to grab water. That's when I felt it, that weird, spine-prickling feeling like someone was watching me. I turned my head and saw her. She was across the room, wearing oversized sunglasses, a cropped black blazer, and a long, straight wig. The same aura, the same stillness. She didn't blink, didn't move. I froze. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. The air felt thick, and just as I started walking toward her, she turned and disappeared into the crowd. Security couldn't find her. Her name wasn't on the guest list. And the cameras, the one facing the lounge, glitched for exactly 1 minute and 17 seconds. I don't know if it was her, but I know that energy. And trust me, babes, I've felt it before. After the beauty summit, I couldn't sleep for days. I kept replaying the moment over and over. Was it her, or just someone who looked like her? I started second-guessing myself, jumping at shadows in nail supply stores, checking behind me in parking garages. That little piece of peace I had finally earned, gone. But what shook me the most wasn't that she might be out, it's that nobody said she got out. I quietly called the prison a week later. Just to ease my mind, I told them I was a concerned associate. The woman on the line pulled up the records, paused, and said, "Miss Brooks was released on early probation 23 days ago. Babes, she was already out when I saw her. I didn't tell anyone. Not my mom, not my clients, not even my group chat. I didn't want to sound paranoid, so I just kept moving in silence, watched my surroundings, double-checked my locks, and started keeping my business cards off the streets. But then, something happened that made my blood run cold. I came home one night after a 12-hour shift and found a small pink package on my doorstep. No label, no postage, just a sticky note that said, "For old time's sake, L." Inside was a chrome nail charm, the same kind I used to apply on her sets. The same kind that went missing the last time she disappeared. I didn't touch the charm. I didn't even bring the box inside. I slid it into a Ziploc bag, gloved up, and dropped it off at the police station the next morning. I filed a report, even gave them Layla's name. But you know how it goes. No direct threat, no fingerprints, no arrest. They told me to stay aware and document anything suspicious. as if I hadn't already been doing that since the first time she scammed me out of my peace. That same week, I started getting strange appointment requests through my booking site. No names, no Instagram handles, just burner emails with messages like, "I heard you're good with cover-ups. Do you work in silence?" And the creepiest one? "Do you still believe in second chances?" I shut the site down temporarily, switched to referral-only clients and private booking links. But even that didn't stop it, because a few days later, my name came up on a podcast. Episode called Ghosts in the Beauty Industry. They didn't use my voice. They used AI, a distorted, fake version of my voice reading off false statements about my business, my taxes, my clients. Whoever made it was trying to paint me as the fraud, trying to flip the narrative. And that's when I realized this wasn't over. Layla wasn't just trying to scare me. She was trying to erase me. I started documenting everything. Every suspicious DM, every unknown number, every shadow that lingered too long outside the salon window. I even installed cameras at my apartment and shop, inside and out. Because by now, I knew this wasn't about money anymore. It was a game. And Layla, she wanted control. But one thing she forgot, I wasn't the same girl she scammed 2 years ago. I had learned. I had grown. And most importantly, I had people. I reached out to Maya again, the one who had messaged me months ago about Layla's other victims. Turns out, Maya had been tracking her movements across different cities. She had names, voice memos, emails, a digital breadcrumb trail. And when we cross-referenced her data with the messages I'd been getting lately, one location kept popping up. San Diego. That's when the idea hit me. Set the trap. I made a burner email and sent a booking request to Layla's latest alias, pretending to be a high-end influencer visiting from New York. Full glam, cash up front, VIP suite nails-only package. I even said, "I heard you're the best at what you do. Clean, fast, quiet." She responded within 2 hours. Appointment confirmed for Saturday, 3:30 p.m. at a rented studio in North Park. The name on the invoice? Ella Brooks Beauty Collective. Saturday came, and I pulled up to the San Diego studio with my heart pounding in my ears and pepper spray in my bag. I wasn't alone. I had Maya parked 2 blocks away, phone ready, and a detective I'd quietly been working with on standby. The building was one of those quiet, artsy co-working spaces, with white walls, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a fake peace that made everything feel too still. I walked in slow, pretending to check my phone like I wasn't preparing for the moment I'd been waiting for over a year. Then I saw her, Layla, standing in the middle of the studio with gloves on, laid edges, and a smug little smile, like she'd been expecting me all along. She didn't flinch, didn't even blink. She just stared at me and said, "You really couldn't leave it alone, huh?" My hands clenched around my kit handle, but my voice stayed steady. "You ruined people's lives, Layla. Mine included. You thought you could keep running?" She let out this soft, sarcastic laugh and replied, "I'm not running. I'm building. The only difference is, now I know exactly who to step on to stay at the top." And just like that, the door behind me clicked shut, and I realized maybe this wasn't a trap I was setting. Maybe it was one she had been planning all along. Disclaimer: the crime stories shared on this channel are fictional and created purely for entertainment purposes. Viewer discretion is advised, as the themes may still include sensitive or suspenseful content. Watch as I bring you thrilling tales well. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload.